Hey guys, this is Dead3 here, back once again, and tonight I'm going to be doing a video where I talk about my top 10 favorite Christmas movies. Now, as you guys probably know by now, Christmas is my favorite holiday. It has always been my favorite holiday ever since I was really little, and I just love watching these types of movies like every year. They're pretty much a tradition for me. Before I get into them, I just want to talk a bit about why I love Christmas, and I just love this time of the year. Now, I think Halloween has always been one of my favorite holidays as well. I love that time of the year. I love when it starts getting cool, and I love, when the trees start losing their leaves and things like that. So, I love Halloween almost as much as Christmas, but I've always loved Christmas, just a bit more. It's always been my favorite holiday. The main reason why I love it is because back when I was younger and up until a few years ago, my grandmother used to decorate her entire house with Christmas stuff. She used to have like 28 different Christmas trees. She decorated every single bit of her house. She had a room, with a train going around one tree with those things you can buy at stores that move around, like little villages and stuff. She would have a room for that. She had one small tree called it was a clown tree in a room that just had antique clowns everywhere. She would have one room, a room with blue trees and things like that. And so when I was younger, I was just surrounded by stuff like that. I think ever since I was 2 years old, when I moved into the house that I live in now, which is my dad's house, I would just go there every year, and she would just decorate, it. And she would also let people go through her house, just to actually have just tour through her house, and that was always a big experience for me because, when you're 2 years old and when something surrounds you, you're immediately drawn to it, and you always love it no matter what it is, and it's really it just really was a big thing for me. You can actually, she actually was in the news a few times because, she stopped for a few years and then she started back up. She was in a newspaper and then on TV and things like that. So she was actually a big deal over here in Salem, which is where I live, Salem, Virginia. I'm sure if you ask anybody around here and you say, hey, who used to decorate all that much, they'll, say, oh, Dorothy Weeks, she used to do that. So yeah, so being surrounded by all that, like I said, I loved Christmas, and every Christmas Eve, we still do it now. It's not that big now, but every Christmas Eve, my whole family on my dad's side would get together in her living room. There'd be these huge piles of presents just everywhere, and of course, me being a little kid, I'd be like, oh, presents are just everywhere, and they're like mounds of presents, like taller than I was. The tree was about as tall as, it was about about as tall as my room, like right now. Like the ceiling's about right, the length of my arm from me, and yeah, so just being around that was just always great. Of course, being a little kid, it's not so much now, but back when I was younger, it was just the best thing. Not only that, but she actually had somebody dress up as Santa Claus and actually come into her house, and he would just walk around the house, and even at one point he actually picked me up it was back when I was really little, like I said, 2, 3, 4 years old, I think. So he picked me up and carried me around, and I actually thought that was really Santa Claus. I thought that because I didn't know that people decorated as much as my granny. I thought that she was the only person that decorated that much. So I literally thought that her house was so big that even Santa Claus came down to say hi to her and stuff. So just being surrounded by that, of course it's in your mind, it's in my mind, and so just the whole, just everything about it, I just loved it, getting together with all the presents, family is around you, eating awesome food. My granny is an amazing cook. She makes the best fudge I've ever had. I love her fudge. It does not feel like Christmas time until I've had some of Granny's fudge. And she doesn't do it now that much anymore because she doesn't, she's gotten too old, so she doesn't decorate her house. Now she only has about 2 Christmas trees, and she's barely decorated them. So it is kind of sad now, but, I still love going around and seeing Christmas decorations and seeing, just seeing people put stuff up. I always try to put as much Christmas stuff up. Like, like you guys have seen, I have my own small little Christmas tree. I've got a few books, like a copy of The Nightmare Before Christmas right here. I've also got the book version of the Polar Express right here, and the Rudolph book. So, I even try to do that. I have some Christmas decorations over at my mom's house as well. But, it's just, like I said, just being surrounded by that for so long. I think she stopped doing it when I was about 16, maybe. I think it was 16. It might have been a year earlier. But I think like she did it for a while, then she stopped for a few years. And then people, even in Salem, were like, hey, why'd you stop? And she was finally like, you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it again for people. But now it's pretty much over, and it is kind of sad. But I'm actually planning on, I will always celebrate Christmas. I'm going to continue to, decorate, and just, celebrate it as much as I can. When I get older, the odds are my entire house is going to be decorated from top to bottom. So, yeah, whenever my dad, lets me do it, but I will sometime. So, like I said, I used to be, just surrounded by Christmas all the time. And, of course, watching Christmas specials on TV, watching Christmas movies, any movie related to Christmas that I saw, I wanted to get. So, the movies that I'm going to show off now, some of these movies are ones that I've literally been watching ever since I was about 3 or 4 years old. Some of them are that old, and I've been watching them for that long. So, I just thought that I would do this video to share with you guys what are my favorite Christmas movies. Now, I've already done a video where I showed off my entire Christmas movie collection, so I'm not going to do that again. I'm just going to talk about my top 10 ones. And for me, these are Christmas, it's a tradition to watch these movies, every year. And I always do, and I am doing it, and I am actually watching one of them right now. I just paused it to do this video. So, I just thought I'd, go ahead and get into it. I know that story was a bit long, but I just wanted to share my love for Christmas with my subscribers and everybody who watches this video. And I'm not going to do a lot more Christmas videos. I might do one more Christmas video, and then I'm going to move on to other things. But I'm going to go ahead and get this video started because it's already gone on for too long. So like I said, this is my top 10 favorite Christmas movies. The first movie that I'm going to talk about is a movie that I don't have with me. My friend borrowed it. Actually, there's 3 movies on this list that my friend borrowed because he's never seen them. But my number 10 Christmas movie would definitely have to be National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Now, I'm sure everybody has seen this movie. It comes on TV all the time, and it's really probably a holiday favorite for most people. And the movie, when I first saw it, I thought it was really funny, like the scene when they get the Christmas tree and there's a squirrel inside of it, or when when Cousin Ed, if you've seen the vacation movies, you know who I'm talking about. Cousin Ed starts pouring the the back, whatever's in his forget what it is, but it's pouring it down the drain, and it's it's like gas. And so somebody lights up a cigar and basically blows the Christmas tree up. There's just so many funny scenes in that movie. Such a great one. And Chevy Chase is a really funny guy. I haven't seen him in anything recently, but I have seen a lot of his films, especially the vacation films and Funny Farm. So yeah, Christmas Vacation is one movie that comes on all the time on TV, and it's definitely one of my favorite comedies, and one movie I just have to watch every year. Alright, well, I'm going to continue with another comedy. For number 9, a lot of people, this movie is either going to be a love-hate for people. Either people really enjoy it, or they think it's really stupid and immature, but I enjoy it. I love the main character. I love the guy that, I love the actor that does it, Adam Sandler, and it's Adam Sandler's 8 Crazy Nights. Now, like I said, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about this movie, but like I said, there's a lot of jokes in this that are kind of immature. You know, there's a lot of poop jokes and fart jokes and things like that, and it does get a little bit out of hand in some places, but this movie has a really good Christmas feel. It's really cool seeing Adam Sandler in an animated movie, in a cartoon. I would never expect him to do that, and he does a pretty good job. I wish he would do another animated movie, because I think he did a really good job in this one. Of course, Rob Schneider's in it as well. But basically the movie stars Adam Sandler, and he's like a delinquent. Everybody in the town doesn't like him, and then he ends up almost going to jail when this small little guy, Whitey, says, you know, hey, how about we have him coach the basketball team? Because Adam Sandler used to play basketball when he was younger, but after his parents had died, he just became this mean guy. And so, you know, Whitey, he's like this little short guy. He's got like 1 foot as bigger than the other. And his sister right here, Eleanor, and they live together in a house, and it's just really goofy. If you're into like goofy, cheesy, kind of dumb comedies that are actually still kind of funny and have got a good heart, I would recommend this movie. But I know that there's some people that are just going to hate this movie. Either way, though, I enjoy it, and yeah, like I said, I would definitely recommend this one. Now, for my number 8 film is another movie that I do not have with me right now, but it's Elf, starring Will Ferrell. Now, this is probably one of my second favorite Christmas movie that has come out over the past couple of years. Now, of course, Elf, everybody knows about it. Basically, Will Ferrell plays an elf who was raised in Santa's workshop, and he finds out that he was actually adopted. He was picked up at an orphanage, and he actually crawled out of his crib and got into Santa's bag, and is taken there. So he is raised to believe he's an elf, and Santa, of course, tells him that he's not an elf, and that his actual father has wound up on the naughty list, and he lives in New York. So what Will Ferrell wants to do is he wants to go to New York and find out where his father lives. You know, he ends up going there, meets his son, meets his wife, and from there point on, it's just a hilarious, funny movie. A lot of good heart. It's a really great family film, and I'm a fan of Will Ferrell. I know that there's some movies that he does that are kind of like but you know, most of the movies I've seen him in, he's actually generally funny, and I really do enjoy, you know, what I've seen him in, and you know, just a really, really good one. So Elf is definitely my number 8 pick. Now, my number 7 pick is one movie that, like I said, I've had in my collection for literally years. It's one movie that I've been watching every year ever since I was really little, and it's Jack Frost, starring Michael Keaton. I'm not going to go too far into this movie because I actually did a review for it. So if you want to check that out, you know, just search my channel and you'll be able to see a review for this movie. But basically, Michael Keaton plays Jack Frost, and he's basically a musician, a struggling musician, trying to, you know, make it big in the business. But while he's doing that, while he's working with his band, he keeps missing time with his son. Like, his son plays hockey, and yeah, he just doesn't have any time for them. Until one night, him and his wife, he just doesn't have time for his son and his wife. And then one night he ends up skidding off the road and dying in a car accident. Cut to 1 year later, his son wishes, you know, that anything his dad could at least be there for Christmas, and he ends up coming back in the form of a snowman. So yeah, like I said, this movie was kind of like a live action Frosty. Really heartwarming movie. The special effects are really, really good. The movie was made in the 90s, so for 90s standards, this was actually pretty good. I think this movie was made in like early 1991, I think. Oh no, never mind. Late 90s. I thought this movie was a lot older than it was. It was made in 98, so. But either way, really, really good movie. I highly recommend this one for anyone who has not seen it. It's available on DVD, so please, you know, Alright, thought I hit something. So please, check it out if you haven't seen it, or check out my review for it that's on my channel. Really, really great one. Now, for my number 5 pick, I know that everybody's probably seen this movie. It comes on all the time on ABC Family, and it is the original Santa Claus with Tim Allen. I'm not really going to go into this one either, but I remember back when I was really young, I saw this one, and I just really, really love this one. Of course, the movie, Tim Allen plays this guy named Scott, and he's divorced by his wife, and his son actually comes by to stay with him on Christmas Eve. Well, while they're on Christmas Eve, they end up hearing these bumps, up on the roof, and when they go out, they find out that Santa Claus is there, and Scott actually scares him, and Santa Claus falls off the roof, and he dies. So, after that, he actually puts on Santa's suit, and he actually ends up becoming Santa Claus, and must do all the duties as Santa, and go around the world and delivering presents. It's a really, really funny movie. I definitely recommend this one. Also, this movie really added to the mystery of Santa Claus. Like, I remember at the beginning of the movie when, the little boy is laying there. His little boy's name is Charlie, and when he's laying there in bed, there's music that's playing, and the music really sets a good mood, and then you see like a shadow of Santa's sleigh like flying over, the top, and it really adds to the mystery of Santa Claus. Really great movie. I know that everybody has seen this one. It comes on TV all the time. So if you have not seen this, just turn on ABC Family anytime this week, and I'm sure it'll be playing. Really, really great family film. Definitely one of my top favorite ones. Really amazing one. And I know that a lot of people, they don't really like the second or third one. For me, I think that the second or third one were pretty much directed towards younger kids, and so all the jokes are kind of kiddish and things like that. But I'd say for a family movie, Santa Claus 2 and 3 are really not that bad compared to like other like really cheesy sequels. So I don't watch 2 and 3 every year, but every once in a while, if I'm watching the first one and I want to watch the other two, I will. I mean, they're not horrible, but they're not like, really, really, they're not as good as the first one, but, there's that. I'm going to go ahead and check, see how much battery I have left. I have more battery than I thought I did. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get to this next one. For my number 5 pick, this movie actually caused a bit of controversy because while Tim Allen was working on Home Improvement, one of the boys that plays his son did this movie, and he did it right after he left Home Improvement. And he was telling everybody he was going to go to college, and he ended up doing this movie instead. And that is I'll Be Home for Christmas with Jonathan Taylor Thomas and Jessica Biel. Now, like I said, right before Jonathan Taylor Thomas went to college, he did this film right after he left Home Improvement. And Tim Allen seemed to have a big problem with that. He was like really upset that he left the show to do this movie. But, they're okay now. But like I said, this is one movie I watch every year. This is a tradition, movie. Basically, I did a review for this, so if you guys want to go see that, I'll leave the links down below, or I'll leave annotations on the screen for both my reviews of them. But basically, Jonathan Taylor Thomas plays Jake, and he goes to college in California, and he hasn't been home for a long time, for the holidays because his father has recently remarried a woman after his after his wife had died, and he really doesn't like his new stepmother, so he tries to stay away. And and his father wants him to come home for Christmas. So what he does is that he offers him a 1957 Porsche, and he basically tells him that if he can make it home on Christmas Eve at 6 o'clock, he'll get the car. So of course he wants to do it. Well, he ends up getting bullied. There's some guys at his school that are kind of jerks, and he tries to help some guys cheat on a test, which unfortunately does not go well. And so to get revenge on him, they strand him out in the middle of nowhere with a Santa Claus suit on and a white beard glued to his face. So the whole movie is him trying to get out of the desert, go through this entire adventure, just trying to get home before Christmas Eve. There's a lot of good laughs in this movie. Definitely a great family film. I noted that a lot of this movie was like hated on when it first came out. I don't know why. I think it's a heartwarming film, really funny comedy. You know, really great, you know, characters in this movie. You know, I did a full review of this, so like I said, check it out. But this is one movie I don't hear a lot of people